Hey guys, what's up? This is Landon from the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast, and I want to share a story about my friend Nick and the service that he can do to bring magic to your magical escape to the Walt Disney World Resort. With 25 resort locations, 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, 180-day advance notice dining reservations, 60-day window for those Fast Pass Plus selections. Plus, there's a lot to plan with a trip to Walt Disney World. Don't worry about that because Nick has your back. Book a trip with Nick.Salcedo at Capture the Magic Vacation and let him be your guide to a uniquely magical vacation to any Disney destination with no cost to you or yours. Let Nick do the hard planning for you while you just sit back and enjoy a trip to the most magical place on earth. Nick is an expert in all things Disney and will truly help put the magical touch on your vacation. Contact Nick at Nick.Salcedo. That is Salcedo at CTM. Is that Vagant?
CTMV agent.
VAgent.com, and let's start planning your next trip.
And by the way, you can visit the website capturethemagicvacations.com/agent/Nick-Salcedo, Salcedo, and you can connect to him directly. Main idea, no cost to you. Free.
And don't you get like a gift card too, or did I make that up?
If you tell Nick that the Magic Monorail... No, we're not the Magic... Who are we? We're the Monday Morning Monorail. If you tell Nick the Magic Monorail sent you, he'll have no idea what you're saying, but
he'll think you're on drugs and call the police.
But if you tell him the Monday Morning Monorail sent you...
He will also think you're on drugs, but then give you a gift card.
He will give you a Disney gift card if you end up booking a vacation with him.
Nick.Salcedo, Salcedo, at CTMVagent.com.
Beautiful. Nailed it.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and I want to welcome you to a very special episode of the show because it is going to be a Landon the Dosdone takeover. You see, Landon's been out for a couple of weeks, mostly because we forgot to tell him we weren't recording last week, and then, the previous week he kind of slept through it, but he's awake now, and we wanted to catch up on a few things. So what you're about to hear is a very special episode that features the one and only Landon the Dosdone doing...
Like you get all serious and dark when you said a very special episode with me.
I don't know. I just wanted to be very intense. I wanted to give it a feel. And
abandon all hope, ye that enter.
But of course, he is here right with me, and we wanted to do a quick intro and just say that, Landon, we have missed you the last couple of weeks.
Oh, thanks.
We're glad to have you back, and now hopefully as we kind of round out the year, we'll get back into our regularly scheduled recording program.
Yeah, look forward to getting back onto the schedule. I really do apologize for sleeping through the switcheroo skidoo because I did prep. I still have notes. But little inside baseball for me. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and when the call time is to record at 9 p.m., on a Friday night on top of that, little hard for me in that instance, but I do apologize. Y'all had a great episode, all 11 hours of it. It was fantastic.
It was quite a marathon.
Yeah, it was. But looking forward to get back on the regular schedule of things, though. I'm going to tease some stuff. We might have some special episodes coming down the pike. So, if that's something that interests you, be sure to subscribe, leave a review. Remember, 5 stars or GTFO, everybody.
Landon, I want to give you a chance here to make use of a little bit of your notes. I just want to ask you, What would you like to see Disney do in the parks with the Muppets?
In the parks, and this isn't going to be a crazy outside the box type idea. It's very similar to an attraction that just shut down in Magic Kingdom. Great moments in history, but mostly at the American part. Take the Muppets, bring them to Epcot, and do a world showcase. Do highlights of, highlight different cultures around the world, and let the Muppets be the ones to, tell that story. You could still have the off-the-wall antics that come with the Muppets, but also tell some interesting parts because, in the World Showcase, dozens and dozens of cultures and countries are represented, so why not have some show aspect with that?
Yeah.
Kind of a variety show. And also, for the Disney Plus side, a Mystery Science Theater starring Statler and Waldorf ripping on old-school Disney stuff. Like, I would pay to see them rip apart the Swiss Family Robinson or something like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I like both suggestions. I just want more Muppets. That's all we really want.
Want more Muppets. Hashtag save the Muppets.
Hashtag save the Muppets. Well, now let's get into today's show. This is episode number 85 of the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast. And today is December 2nd, 2019. I hope you enjoy the show. We're going to roll into M3-4D, and then we're going to wrap it up with a preview of Landon's upcoming Disney trip. So stay with us. And Landon, welcome back, man. I just missed you so much. Just so glad
Thanks,
to have
buddy.
you.
Missed you too. And I missed you, the lovely listener, most of all. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast on the... Do y'all have like a podcasting network?
Not really.
Okay. Well, it's right here, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Monorail. This is the Disney Deep Dive with the Dawes. And joining me, because it wouldn't be the Disney Deep Dive with the Dawes without him, is Landon, the Dawes Doan. Landon, welcome back to the Monorail. It's been a couple weeks.
It has been a couple weeks. Happy belated Thanksgiving to y'all, and also to the listeners as well. And if y'all haven't already done it, let me be the first on this podcast to wish y'all a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I think officially, you're the first one to do it in the official Christmas season. We did it back in like August, I think, but...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did the joke how we were going to be the first ones to wish you a Merry Christmas. So we are doubling down on that joke, ladies and gentlemen.
We do.
It worked so well the first time. It's like, gosh darn it, we're playing nothing but the classics right now.
We go back to the well as long as the well's still got water, for sure.
Exactly. Speaking of going back to the well, we'll be doing another Landon Peace Theater. There has to be some stupid award we can give away. That was fun. March Madness, we're also going to be doing that in the next segment. So
let me tell you, people love Landon Peace Theater. So if you've got another one of those in the hopper, I think we need to do it. We need to scour Diz Twitter for the latest controversy and maybe resurrect an oldie but a goodie because lots of great
are people
feedback.
still upset about the Skyliner? I remember that being a big hullabaloo. Let's see. Maybe we can save Landon Peace Theater for the next time, like an animatronics head falls off midway through a ride or something.
Okay, we'll do it.
Also, it's called a tease in the business.
Coming soon. Landon Peace Theater Part 2. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to save that, so give you a reason to come back another day. But today, we're going to continue our journey through attractions, rides, shows that you can find or could have found at the Magic Kingdom as part of the Walt Disney World Resort. And we're going to do a deep dive. I'm emphasizing some of these words because you're going to see why in a minute.
Yeah, he has a purpose, ladies and gentlemen. He's not having a medical emergency where he randomly emphasizes parts of words. He's building to something, I promise.
That's right. We're diving under the water, under the sea, mind you, for Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid today. Let me just say, I can never remember the name of this ride. And
seriously.
And it's mostly because I don't think I realized that it's not even hyphenated. It has the little squiggle between Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. And I always want to call it Voyage of the Little Mermaid, and that is the show at Hollywood Studios.
Studio, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did the same thing doing research for this. It's like, I swore this was a ride.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That would explain why I swore it was a ride, because it actually is.
It is. And then, to confuse things even further, it's called something different at California Adventure. It's called The Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure.
Well, that's not confusing or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure why the variation, to be honest. Why not just call it the same thing? Because honestly, you've got a Peter Pan dark ride. We can just call it Peter Pan. People know what you're talking about. Peter Pan's Flight, but people just call it Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, you got Pooh. What is Pooh's ride even called? I can't think of it right now.
The Mini Adventures of Winnie.
Yeah, there you go. Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, but people can just call it the Pooh ride.
Pooh, yeah.
We'll go ride the Pooh ride, which doesn't sound great.
No, but you have to remember back when that backlot Hollywood Studio thing was going on over at Hollywood Studio, that was actually called the Pooh ride.
Yes. It's true. So I actually kind of prefer the name The Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure, because then you could say The Little Mermaid Ride, which would be fine. Instead, we have to complicate it and say Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid.
Seriously.
Fine.
Like seriously, doing research for this one segment, I had to go back and look at the text and be like, what am I supposed to be Googling? Because doing Google searches, I came up with everything but this attraction, because it's so convoluted of a name.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Do you think maybe they went with Under the Sea as kind of the lead off, because this actually is sitting in the spot where 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea used to be?
Maybe a tip of the hat. I could definitely see the Imagineers doing that. By the way, quick sidebar: if you're not watching the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, what are you doing with your life? Also, this is not an ad for Disney Plus, though. Disney Plus, we are open. Yeah.
The Imagineering story is kind of similar to Disney Deep Dive with the Dawes, but they
totally ripped us off. Oh, my God. I knew it.
They really did. So we're going to have to come after him. Watch out, Joe Rohde, Marty Sklar.
I'm coming after
John
you,
Hinch,
Tony Baxter.
Tony Baxter.
No, that's not true. I love Tony Baxter.
All those guys are great.
They are.
If you're not watching that, do it. If you like this kind of stuff, then you're gonna love that. And
if you love this idea, but with production values, go for it.
And facts, correct information,
exactly, and licensed footage.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're practically the same.
Other than that, same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So here we are, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, and I had said recently on the podcast that this is something that we had ridden before. We've ridden it more frequently now that we live here, because more often than not, it doesn't have a very long wait. And on busy days in the parks, because this is a Omnimover dark ride, it's continuous loading. You can pretty much, there may be a line, but at most 20, 30 minutes, and you're moving the whole time, so it makes it feel like it's not quite as long. Step right on, and you get to have a fun experience. And I have a new appreciation for it, because there's things about it, and we're going to talk about it as we go, that I just didn't realize when we rode it the first couple of times. Maybe I was distracted by the music, or trying to look at the animatronics or whatever. I don't know, but
Ursula's head falling off, like I teased.
Yeah, or Ursula's head falling off. But
that totally happened. The video is still hilarious and kind of terrifying. To be fair, Ursula does not miss a beat. She keeps the song going.
Oh, sure. The show must go on. She's a professional.
Of course. Truly.
Yeah. But yeah, as I mentioned, we always kind of start off with an overview of what the ride is, and it is a dark ride Omnimover, and it kind of takes you through the story of the Little Mermaid, and it basically playing the hits. I think you could say. And
it definitely does tell the Little Mermaid story, but it plays all the songs you would associate with Little Mermaid. Like you said, it's playing the hits. It doesn't give you every scene, but I would definitely say this ride tells you the story of the Little Mermaid animated movie. Yeah, and so before we got started, we were actually comparing this to a ride over in Epcot, the Nemo ride, because both of them include clamshells. This one actually
takes you through the story in a mostly logical, chronological way. The Nemo one is kind of all over the place.
It's really more of a scattershot. We have an IP we need to do something with.
Yeah.
Also, here's some fish.
Yeah, it's that is worth it to ride because I think the projections on the aquarium are pretty effective and cool. Worth it to at least see it once, I would say. But I like the Nemo ride, something that if I never did it again, I wouldn't miss it. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like my draw to that ride would be seeing the fish themselves, but you don't have to ride Nemo to go see those fish.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Better to go into what I like to call Sea Base Alpha and explore for yourself. Without the hydrolators, mind you. But yes, so Little Mermaid, you're in a clamshell, similar to Nemo, but in this case, you're actually going through kind of a logical storytelling.
Do you think they just had like a surplus of like clamshell seats?
That's why they're
it's like, hey, it's smoke them if you got them right now. We have to use them.
Honestly, it could be true because you're saving money using the exact same ride seat design. Why not? So that's makes sense to me. I don't know if I was Disney, I'd do it.
And let's be honest, you only want to make one trip to Clamshells R Us.
they wait for Clam Fest at Red Lobster, and they just went crazy.
Exactly. Good news, guys. I spent all my money.
Oh, clams. I used to love, at Red Lobster they used to do, this is probably insensitive considering we're talking about an under the sea attraction with fish and stuff, but...
Hey, it's not like we're saying they serve up Shaggy there. It's okay.
If you're a fish, just close your ears for a minute.
Do fish have ears?
I think so. Red Lobster used to do...
If you're a fish, get back to us. Let us know.
Red Lobsters used to do Crab Fest, and let me tell you, there's a reason they stopped doing that, because I think that I was part of the reason they were losing money on that deal. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we would go through buckets and buckets of those crab legs. So
seriously, buckets of crab legs and them cheddar biscuits. Like, okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, on board.
Yeah, just go ahead and put it in my veins.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I want seafood.
Oh yeah. Well, again. Okay, now the fish can start listening again. So this ride opened as part of the reimagined Fantasyland, and it actually, we're coming up now, this being December 2nd, we are just a few days away from the 7th anniversary of the official opening day of this ride. Yeah, because it opened December 6th of 2012, replacing Pooh's Playful Spot. And then, of course, previously 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah,
that ride was so cool.
It really was, and I do miss it, certainly.
But I understand why it went away.
Yeah, you get why. Yeah. I mean, high maintenance cost, but also the fact that it was not wheelchair accessible.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so they definitely brought something in now that everybody can enjoy. I want to talk a little bit about the theming, because I think that it's one of the things I really appreciate about this ride, because the ride, it's not super long. It's about 5-6 minutes long, but like, I think they've done a good job in the Magic Kingdom theming this particular area, because on the outside you've got kind of a pirate ship with what do you call it? Ariel is it the figurehead, the masthead?
Yeah, she's there on the mast.
Yeah, so and it's pretty. It looks really good, especially if you frame it up kind of with the rock work behind it. You can see Eric's castle. It's so nice looking, and then as you go like over to board the ride, you go into the caves, and what it's supposed to simulate is like coastal low tide, which I think is believable. And I always like a nice cave queue with the waterfalls, the running water, and it's definitely cool over there, cooler than some of the other areas of the park. And so I really do appreciate that. And I guess too, the little ones can do kind of a little scavenger hunt, a scuttle scavenger hunt as you go through the queue. So it gives them a little something to do. Not quite as interactive as something like the new Peter Pan queue or Haunted Mansion, but it gives you things to look at and can keep people occupied. And again, it's well done, I think. But then, and as you get onto the ride, you start your journey with Scuttle kind of voicing over the story of the Little Mermaid in a way only he can. He's playing a little accordion there. And then this is the part that I really appreciate about this ride. And honestly, I feel like it's worth the price of admission. Your clamshell turns backwards.
Yes, here it is.
You go you start going downhill, and you actually go under the sea. And the way they accomplish this,
it's so cool.
They project water bubbling up on the clamshell in front of you. And if you look above, all of a sudden, there's water being projected, bubbling above you. And you are, I mean, it sounds like, okay, that's like a cool effect. It's pretty good.
Like you say, it just sounds like a cool effect. Like even in video, in my opinion, when that happens, like again, I don't have a high def camera, but if you look really closely, you can see the hair on my arm standing up. It is such a cool effect, and it really does give you that feeling that you are going under the sea, very similar to the Little Mermaid stage show over at Hollywood Studios, where they have that laser effect where it's like the water projected above.
That's cool.
You truly feel like you're going under the sea, and the way they do it on the back of the car, I guess behind you, is so just bravo.
It was brilliant. It's such a nice touch. And the way that they use the projection technology, which they've gotten so good at Walt Disney World, is just, it's very effective.
Tighten it up on Frozen, though. Come on.
It's very effective. And it's something, this is one of my examples of things that the first couple times I rode this, I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to it. I don't know why.
I'm bobbity-boobity.
And, but then, like, it was probably right after we had moved here. We were down there on a busy day at Magic Kingdom. We go right under the sea. And as we're going backwards, I'm like, oh my gosh, we just went underwater. I talked about it the whole rest of the ride.
The people 3 carts away, it's like, yeah, we get it. We all know. Shut up.
But it really had that kind of impact on me, which is pretty good because it may not even be the most it's not the most technologically advanced
because
thing.
there are some really dope animatronics. Yes. I'm going to call them dope. That's how nice they are. But yeah, that effect, like you said it earlier, it's worth the price of admission alone for this ride. Just that right there.
Yeah. It's very good. Very good. So as you get rolling, the first tune you're going to hear is Part of Your World, which of course is a fan favorite. And you kind of see they use projection above you as you first come under the water, and you see Ariel swimming around. And then you are right there in her grotto with her and Flounder and looking at all her collections. Yeah, doodads, her dingle hoppers and such.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the dingle hoppers. My bad.
Who's its and what's its. And so you kind of slide around the corner, and you are suddenly smack dab in the middle of Under the Sea. And that is such a fun scene. There's so much going on. In this room, you've got, Sebastian kind of leading the band on top of the rock formation, on top of the coral, and you've got the fish, all the different kinds of fish doing the different things that you've seen in the movies. And man, there's so much to see that you could go through this room a bunch of times and not see all of it, because it's just all around you, surrounding you.
I will say, like, in this room in particular, I think these have some of my least favorite animatronics, particularly in the fish, just kind of, playing in the band. Some of them, I mean, I'm not going to say they look bad because it's a Walt Disney animatronic and, they can't look bad. But compared to some of the other ones, I think they're slightly lacking.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. Still a great scene. And like you said, it has so much going on. Your eye probably isn't going to be drawn in on be like, hey, I'm not a fan of that one in particular.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. A lot of them.
Also, while we're on the animatronics, let's back up one scene into Ariel's grotto. Her hair, it's something to look at. It's just like, it's supposed to be giving, I guess, the illusion of, hair moving underwater.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really move, and it looks like just a big giant chunk of plastic, which, I mean, I guess it technically is, but I don't know. That took me out of everything.
So I think this is a good point.
Well, in that one scene, it didn't take me out of the rest of the ride. I'm just saying that one. It's like, I need an exit right now.
Yeah, I think this is a good point, and it's something I was thinking about too, because what they're trying to capture, obviously, is Ariel's hair free floating in the water, which is, if it was just natural hair, I don't know how they do that unless they were blowing wind on it, a fan
or something, and then that would probably look kind of carny.
Yeah. So it does move slightly. If you kind of look at the ends, like the very ends of her hair that are kind of out to the side, you see it kind of moves just a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it's not much. It's very subtle, and it looks like a large piece of plastic, just like it is. The next aerial that you see has similar things going on, but I think you're distracted a little bit because they do the illusion of her actually like floating while you're in the under the sea scene, because she's actually kind of dancing to the music, and you're not really maybe as distracted staring at her hair because she's like, you're like, oh wow, Ariel's floating.
Has some movement. Okay, all right. Similar
to if you remember R.I.P. the Great Movie Ride, the way that they made Mary Poppins float in the chimney scene. It's like a similar kind of thing with Ariel, so that's pretty cool. That's probably maybe the most impressive part of the under the sea theme scene. And so but I agree, it's a little distracting.
I mean, like still, I'm not saying don't avoid this attraction just because of that. That's just me being a Disney dork.
Yeah, exactly. We're being picky. That's
exactly.
What we do.
Yeah, we do it because we love. Also, we are going to give this, going back to a previous episode, we're going to give this the harshest review ever, an 89 out of 100.
Exactly. That is scathing. Yeah. So we move on from under the sea, and now we see Flotsam and Jetsam, those mischievous eels, because they're hearing all about Ariel's desire to go above the water and join Eric, and wishing for a life on land. So,
and the way they're introduced, just hanging above you, like one eye has one out and the other. It's like, I just love the way it's like they very slowly show up. It's like,
yeah, almost like Great Movie Ride when the alien comes in from above you.
That was a really cool effect. I miss that ride.
Yeah, I know. It's going to make us sad.
Seriously.
Speaking of the Imagineering story, they talk about how that was like the main attraction of Hollywood Studios. It's just sad that it had to go. But
yeah, and it's gone. Yeah, and it's gone.
Hashtag.
God, I have high expectations for the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Coaster. Ooh, you got some big shoes to fill, y'all.
It better deliver. It better deliver. So, all right. So back to Ariel.
Yeah, what are we doing?
All right. So obviously, Flotsam and Jetsam take the information over to Ursula, and the next thing you get to see is this, I'll say, infamous Ursula animatronic that maybe back in 2012 might have been the most. Are we going to say? I'm going to say maybe the most impressive animatronic on Walt Disney World property at the time, because man, this thing, it's large, imposing, it is very articulate, arms, face, everything moving around,
the
tentacles moving, as long as its head's not falling off.
There is that one issue, but that's only on special occasions that Ursula loses her head. But yeah, I would agree, when this ride was made, this was probably peak Walt Disney World technology. I mean, I do think the shaman at the end of Navi River Rapid is now surpassed that, but still to this day in almost 2020, almost a brand new decade, I still think this Ursula animatronic is still one of the most impressive technological feats in the Walt Disney World property. It's just it is something to behold.
It's very good. It is very good. And it's...
And then like we talked, when it loses its head, it's even better.
Yeah. Exactly.
That only happened once. I'll stop bringing it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the footage lives on forever.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
So, all right. So then, obviously, we've got Ariel, who has now signed her life away on the Ursula contract. You see her surrounded in a vortex. She's getting her legs. And then we go back above the water. So you get to see, this time you're going up, you see the water bubble down. They use kind of the reverse effect, and now you're above water, where we get to see...
above the sea.
Yeah, above the sea.
Above the sea.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I got.
That's where we get to see the Kiss the Girls scene, which I think is pretty good. And this one, I don't think the animatronics are quite as distracting because they're above water, so they don't have to have the flying hair and all that stuff. So they look pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing that we end up in is the finale scene, where King Triton, Sebastian Flounder, and the couples are waving goodbye from a gazebo, and there's fireworks. The fireworks are pretty cool looking.
Mm-hmm, they are, and Ursula's in the background being all giant and evil.
Yeah, so...
that's one thing I kind of felt they could have handled better. Like I do think the way the attraction ends, this right here is a nice, send off. But like,
it's missing.
Come on,
something.
give us something from when Ursula goes like Mecha Ursula or whatever.
Yeah,
to borrow a term from Godzilla. Like give us a scene of that.
If there was anything that I would add to this ride, I totally agree. It would have been very cool to have a scene with a giant Ursula and maybe seeing like the ship kind of sailing towards.
Yeah,
her.
sailing into.
We don't have to do full impale, but like
no, screw that. We are going to do it. Also, we're bringing back the Xenomorph for reasons. We're going to get really dark at the end of this ride.
Yeah, but I mean, I think because the end is kind of rushed through. Like once we get Kiss the Girls, then all of a sudden it's like
it's over.
It's over. Yeah.
Like I could have swore there was something else that happened in this movie.
Yeah. But you get a lot of time in that under the sea room. So, and I'll tell you, it's impressive. Like I mentioned, there are almost 200 audio animatronic figures in that room. That's crazy.
Wow. In that one room alone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Ursula, by the way, is 7.5 feet tall and 12 feet wide.
Well, that would explain why she feels giant and imposing.
Yeah. She really does. She definitely...
I've dated some women like that. What? No, sorry.
Oh. Hey-oh. Hey, everybody has their type,
Absolutely. I'm just into 8-legged sea monsters.
Oh, that's really good. And he lost his headphones on that one.
Sorry. I like that one a little bit too much.
I appreciated it.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to see. I'm going just kind of through my list of fun facts here because some of this stuff we talked about. But I'm trying to see if there's anything we missed. It does feature voices from the original movie, the original 1985 film. Did you know that
1985?
Yeah. What did I say? 1989. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. I was going back in time. Back in time.
Yeah. Bring back the Back to the Future ride, Disney or Universal or Knott's Berry Farm. I don't care who at this point. Just do it, you cowards.
So, apparently, The Little Mermaid was the first Disney film based on a classic fairy tale since Sleeping Beauty 3 decades earlier. That's interesting, but it's not really about the ride, just about Little Mermaid.
But that is interesting.
Yeah.
Because especially, it seems like this movie kind of started a Disney princess renaissance, at least for when you and I were growing up.
I would say that's probably true.
Because I guess this was technically before Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah,
I think so. I'm gonna say let's play. Let's play a game.
It's on a podcast, and I said it with confidence, so that means it's true now. I'm sorry, that's just the world we live in almost 2020. But like, I mean, Little Mermaid, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Nala from Lion King, Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yeah,
I mean, like sure. Those are some strong Disney princesses right there, and that all came from that one era, that I guess that Disney animation renaissance. It was kind of a renaissance of Disney animation, right in that zone. And man, they were cranking out the hits. High quality. Once again, going back, if you don't have Disney Plus, what are you doing with your life? Once again, Disney, we are open to sponsorships. Didn't you hear me kill that Hello Apron live read a few weeks ago? Come get this. You got some compliments on that, by the way. I don't know. Oh, really? Tom and Michelle. Yeah, I heard in the previous episode. Thank y'all for the kind words. Let this be said. I am available to do voiceovers for anything. I will do a lot for money. Okay, so what I wanted to do, we were going to guess the release year of Beauty and the Beast, and I'll tell you, I've looked it up now, but my guess was 1992. I will. Ooh, I was going to say 90. To be different, I'll say 93. Oh, you went the wrong way. It was 91. 91? I nailed it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Boom. Came out in November of 91. So, end of the year, November 22nd. So, actually, we just celebrated another anniversary for Beauty. Happy birthday. Once again, we're going to act like we planned it that way. Totally planned it. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. We're good like that. Little Mermaid was actually released November 17th of 89. So, was it like a thing to put these movies out in November? I mean, I guess because, back in that time when it came to movies, December and Christmas was kind of a dead spot, so maybe you wanted to get them in before the holidays. That way, when people get together with the little ones, they want to go to the theater and see, the fun fish sing with the lady.
Aladdin came out in November of 92.
Okay, so apparently there must have been going something where they were looking at box office returns and stuff like this just cleaned up.
And
look at that! Give us the next one.
I was going to give you Lion King.
Lion
King. So it's showing me, of course, the new one.
Yeah.
So let me go back.
Which, by the way, I still haven't seen, and I don't intend to. So, even though I love you, Donald Glover, and most of that cast, it's just I'm so tired of Disney with their live action stuff.
So this is bizarre. This one was June of 94.
Whoa, talk about bucking the trend.
But, it was like a smash hit summer blockbuster, so.
And that is true. That is when Hollywood really did kind of lean into that big summer blockbuster thing. So, just look at that, 89 to 94 in that, 5-6 year time frame?
Yeah.
Disney made 4 classics.
Oh, and by the way, Toy Story came out in 92?
Never heard of it. No, oh my God, yeah.
Of course, that was just, Pixar at the time wasn't part of Disney when that came out, but yeah.
And then Disney's like, wait, these guys are making us look bad.
Yeah, that maybe, it's interesting.
By the way, we just hit the 20 years ago, Toy Story 2 just came out.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, sorry, we're going off on a tangent, but I'm having a blast right now.
Well, it is fun. I was actually going to suggest it's like once we get through all of Magic Kingdom, I think our next natural step. I was going to say magical step.
It is a magical step.
Our next natural step would be, of course, to go to Epcot. But I wonder if we shouldn't just do like a little sidebar and talk some Disney animated films at some point.
I think we should just do both.
Could do both.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I was going to say, here we had 89 Little Mermaid. 90 was The Rescuers Down Under. It came out.
I like that movie. It's kind of gotten lost to the ether. I don't know, because Rescuers really doesn't have a presence with Disney at all.
It really doesn't.
No, though the first Rescuers totally traumatized me as a kid. Of course, remember, I was a stupid little wiener kid growing up, as we previously discussed. The Haunted Mansion terrified me.
God, it's scary, man.
Yeah, that Eddie Murphy movie.
But then we had Beauty and the Beast 91, we had Aladdin 92, and then there was no animated Disney film that came out in 93. Lion King 94, and then Pocahontas 95, Hunchback of Notre Dame 96, Hercules 97, Mulan 98.
Love Hercules, yes.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, they were
What? You're going to stop before you get to Emperor's New Groove? Come on.
Oh, sorry.
I'm a llama. She made me a llama.
That was in 2000. That's crazy. That movie seems older to me.
It really does. But when you threw out when Little Mermaid came out in 89, it's like, okay, that's way too early. Nope. No, it wasn't. I always did grow up with The Little Mermaid, but I could have swore like I was older when it came out. But clearly I wasn't. I was 4 when it came out. So,
and all of this
getting
started.
Old man, this is weird.
The hit parade actually started with The Black Cauldron in 85.
Did it really?
That's where it started, and then From
and
there,
then it almost killed Disney.
From there,
and their animation.
Well, I mean, it's pretty. People love the Black Cauldron, but
don't get me wrong. I love the
wasn't...
Black Cauldron. Like as a metal kid, why would I not like the Black Cauldron? But at the same time, when you look at it financially and critically, it did not do well. And there's a reason Disney has left that in the vault.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they didn't leave it in the vault, but there's a reason they're not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Because you would have thought, like around like the turn of the century, when somehow Tinkerbell turned into like an angsty teen icon. Thank you, Hot Topic. Full disclosure, I worked there for like 8 years. But, you would have thought they would have done something with the Black Cauldron when everybody was getting all goth and angsty and then writing in their live journal, listening to My Chemical Romance. You would have thought Disney would have done something with that. And Black Cauldron would have been it. Wait, no. I forgot they had Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's true.
That is why we didn't get any more Black Cauldron, because Disney latched onto that for their goth kid franchise.
It is pretty great, though. I guess it's not. So I know it's a what do you call it? It's a is it claymation? It's a stop motion movie.
Stop motion.
So it's not on this list that I'm looking at of the Disney animation
and plus,
studios.
technically, that was not a Disney film. It was released by a different company. It wasn't Miramax.
Oh, interesting. I don't know.
Well, I think it was Touchstone. I think it was released under the Touchstone umbrella. So it wasn't a Walt Disney picture. I mean, it was distributed by Disney because that was back in the day when Disney would use Touchstone and later on Miramax to distribute movies that didn't, jive with Disney, so to speak. But since then, I mean, that has totally been re-embraced by Disney.
You're right. It was Touchstone. You nailed it. Way to go.
I am full of just random useless crap. Thank God podcast came along.
And that film came out in 93. So I wonder if that's why there wasn't a Disney animated film in 93.
Maybe they were kind of clearing the runway, so to speak.
Yeah, October 29th, 93. Interesting. Well, now we've all learned something, haven't we?
And since it was released on October 29th, I think that answers the question whether Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween or Christmas movie released right before Halloween.
It's both. I think it's both. You can watch it starting in 1st of October all the way through New Year's. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's both, as long as we all agree that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
People are going to disagree with that.
Hey, that's fine. And you know what? Okay. I'll give you this caveat. You can say that Die Hard is your favorite Christmas movie, but then your next sentence has to be, but also, I hate Christmas movies.
Okay.
That feels fair.
All right.
I think so. Come at me, nerds. LANDOZ. Please come get the.
Hey, here's a question. This is totally not related to Disney.
That got way too confrontational. I apologize.
I know, that's why I went away from it quickly.
It's the season, y'all.
Is Batman Returns a Christmas movie? I don't think it's necessarily based in Christmas time, but it's definitely snowy.
I'll be honest, I've never thought of this. Like, please tell me why it could be a Christmas movie.
I think of it as, when I think of that movie, it's a very cold film. Like, it's all filmed very cold, like grayscale. Of course, that's Batman. But of course, with the Penguin, like, everything is snow covered. And you remember that everybody's, like, dressed in big coats. Christopher Walken in that movie's great, by the way. I always kind of forget that Christopher Walken's in that movie, but he's there. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably... Wait. Oh, do they roll out like a really big present that the skeleton gang jumps out of in the beginning of that movie, like in the opening scene?
Sounds. I'll be honest. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie.
I think they do.
That does sound like something that happened.
Yeah, I think that's true. So
you know what? I'll say
Christmas
maybe. Movie. How about that? It's more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard.
That's our listener question for the week is which one is more appropriate for Christmas time? Die Hard, Batman Returns. You decide. People are going to say Die Hard because it's a Christmas party, but I'm just saying. And
also people are sheep and they see it on the internet, so therefore it's not a Christmas movie. It's not.
It doesn't have to have Santa in it to be a Christmas movie. Hey, I'm going to tie this back to Disney Plus.
Okay.
Because Disney Plus has an original you can watch called Noel.
Noel, exactly. Starring Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick.
Yeah. And we watched it this week, and it was fun.
Okay, all right. Well said. I think they're going to put that on the poster.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. Justin Monorail. It was fine.
I had a coworker who watched it with his family and said it was it reminded him of Elf.
It is. It's a lot of they really enjoy the whole fish out of water, sending these North Polians to, walk around in Phoenix, Arizona, which was interesting. My favorite part is that they keep reminding you that they're in Phoenix, Arizona by one of the characters walking around in either a Phoenix Sun shirt or as Arizona State shirt every time you see him.
Subtle.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, where are we? We're in Phoenix. That's right.
Also, that's very presumptuous. They think people really know what the Phoenix Sun logo looks like.
Well, it says Phoenix Suns on it.
Okay, it had better because like I keep up with the NBA and I barely remember that the Phoenix Suns are a thing. like if they don't have Charles Barkley and Dan Marley, like do not care.
Yeah.
Hey, KJ, too. Shout out to Kevin Johnson.
Landon, I say we wrap this up with a quick preview, and this can be segment 3 for today. We're going to roll into segment 3, and then we'll do the plugs, and we'll just wrap up the show. This
sounds good.
Off the cuff. Frank Cardillo would be so proud of me right now. This is an improviser's guide style approach.
Well, he's going to be super excited when we come back. If you're watching on video, I'm going to wear a fedora. No, I'm really not.
Sorry. He'd be proud. We did float the idea out there of like some sort of a Disney fedora club or something. I don't know whatever happened to that.
No. This is an intervention for that idea. No, you're really not.
All right.
Oh, my God.
You've got a Disney trip coming up. In fact, you leave when?
I leave on Wednesday. So if you're listening to this the day that this episode posts, December the 2nd, that is 2 days from today.
Yeah.
Or if you're listening to it late, guess what? I'm already inside Disney, y'all.
Hashtag Dawes Does Disney.
Dawes Does Disney is totally coming back.
Got to follow that hashtag. All right, let's talk about your plans. There's a couple of big things happening on this trip, right?
Exactly, yeah. I'm going to be eating a lot of Christmas treats.
That's certainly important. I'll add that to the list. I was referring...
Yeah, you were probably talking about... if you believe the hype, what could be one of the most technologically impressive feats Walt Disney has ever pulled off, and that is Rise of the Resistance. What is, again, if you believe the rumors, a 20-minute experience with multiple tracks and multiple like vehicles and crap like that. You got to change stuff during the ride. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Wow. But yeah, I'm going to be in town for that, and I am so looking forward to it.
I know we're still kind of debating what your plans are, but you're planning to go opening day, right?
Yes, I am planning to go opening day, but if you remember back when Galaxy's Edge opened at Hollywood Studio, right before Labor Day weekend?
It was like August 29th or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that fun spot right before Labor Day. Last time Florida had a hurricane.
Yeah.
Remember that? We went down there, and we decided to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And just, to put some, I guess, frame of reference, I'm on the Phil Show, News Talk 98.7, 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. 6 to 10 a.m. means I got to get up really early to get there. I get up at like 4 to go to work. So that means on my vacation, somebody who already gets up way earlier than anybody should got up an hour earlier to go stand in, I guess, the open area right after you go through the ticket area of Hollywood Studio at like 4 o'clock in the morning. There's still the picture of me, you, Frank, and Angela from Touring Plans, right?
Yeah.
Look at me getting the lingo
nice.
Where y'all look happy. Me, I look like it's 4:18 in the morning and I have no idea what's going on.
You did not look happy, right? Yeah.
No. Well, it wasn't that I wasn't happy. I was just very confused, if we're being honest. I was half sleep deprived. I needed caffeine. I was hungry. I needed water, we found out later on. But yeah, I'm kind of curious, do I do that since it's just one attraction opening, or would I be safe to wait for, the sun to come up like a regular person?
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do, but I am definitely going to be there day one to ride, and also I have a Oga's Cantina reservation later that afternoon too. So.
Oh, well, see, then you have to decide: are you hoping to squeeze in Rise of the Resistance before Oga's or after?
I'm viewing it as a before, because I think my Oga's is at 5:20 or something. So I mean, I could, in theory, then go hop back in line to ride Rise again, assuming I did it beforehand. But at the same time, I really feel like if I did that, that would be my entire rest of the time in the park. Day. From 5 on, I would be in the line. I'm
so curious. There's so many questions I have about this ride. And one of the main ones, actually, this one just popped in my mind is, are they going to have single rider for this ride?
I was curious of that too, because in Smuggler's Run, there is a single rider. But if I remember correctly, I don't think single rider was active day one, was it?
It was. We didn't do it because we wanted to ride together. Oh, or did we do that? We went back and rode single rider.
That's right, but it was later in the day.
It was later in the day, yeah.
So maybe when it first opens, it won't have single rider, but after 1 or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I'll be honest, I'm going Han Solo once again. I will wear the crap out of a single rider line with this thing, because unlike Smuggler's Run, it doesn't seem like it depends on which seat you're in.
Yeah, you're not going to be driving anything. You're just along for the ride.
You just need a seat in the boat.
But I would imagine they want to fill every seat because it is going to be a hugely popular attraction, at least day one for sure. Everybody's going to want to see if the hype is real. With what we believe to be like one of the most complicated ride systems, and just all the effects changing between different ride vehicles, everything. I'm just like what are the odds that this thing doesn't break down on day one?
That thought has entered my mind a lot, just based on how intricate and how detailed this is. Like, all it takes is one small thing to go wrong, and it's just a domino effect.
Yeah.
But you know what? You could say that, I mean, not to the extent of, Rise of the Resistance. I mean, Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
That is, it's kind of a simulated ride, but at the same time, there's interactive parts to it.
For sure.
And that didn't have any issues that I remember on day one.
It really didn't, actually. That was one of the things people were really bragging about, because...
And there was a ton of people. I don't care what Diz Twitter says that people don't go to Galaxy's Edge. At least when I was there was a bazillion damn people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said the D word. But.
Well, no, you're right. And... people were comparing it to something that had opened right around the same time, which was Hagrid's, which still, to my knowledge, is still having problems. And that opened... It was back in August, I think.
I thought that was more like late July.
It may have been late July.
But still, like it was late summer, and we're recording this, as we already said, this episode drops on the 2nd of December. We're almost to a new decade, and I still think we're going to be seeing issues on Hagrid into the next decade.
Yeah. I mean, and it, again, is an advanced ride. There's new technologies and things, but I don't know that any of that has anything to do with the fact that it got infested by bees for a while there.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, they had to shut it down because it
bees?
Yeah, it was like totally just wrought with bees. Yeah. Which is I mean, to be fair, Hagrid does have a bunch of animals, so at least it's staying on brand. But to quote a magician named Gob, bees? Bees. Yeah. That was a news story that happened probably a month or so ago, where they just had to shut it down for a couple of days to take care of the bee problem. Yeah, that was interesting.
Wow, holy crap.
So,
bees, you say?
But in its defense, I hear for people who have been able to ride it, that it's amazing,
by swarms of killer bees,
and didn't get attacked by bees. I hear it's amazing. So sometimes I guess you take the good with the bad. I'm hoping Rise of the Resistance doesn't have any issues. I'm hoping it's not infested with bees.
That would be a bummer. Though on the other hand, I'd be kind of impressed. Be like, how did these bees get in here? Yeah. Are these the Resistance? Is this the Rise of the Resistance that this ride is talking about?
Space bees.
Ah, dude. Oh my God, dude. Spoilers for episode 9.
So anyway.
Ray is actually made up of 110 million space bees.
I actually think the next Disney deep dive that you're going to hear should probably be Rise of the Resistance, because by the time we are able to record another one, both of us will have ridden it, and we can give a good review for it. So,
hey, I like that idea.
Yeah. But what we are also considering doing is recording a little live audio from a very special party that both of us are going to be attending. So,
yeah, we are going to go to the Mickey Merry Christmas Jamboree thing.
Jamboree.
What's the name of it?
It's the Very Merry Christmas Party.
Oh. Yeah, why didn't I just guess that? But yeah, regardless, we're going to go do that, and it's going to be fun. Because, like, prior to me going to the not-so-scary Halloween party, I had never gone to any of these holiday after-hour parties. Yeah. And I was blown away with Not So Scary. That is something I'm going to make a point of, even when I do not have an annual pass, to go down to the Walt Disney World property and do Not So Scary. And if it's half as good, or if the Christmas one is half as good as Not So Scary, I am pumped.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
I'm excited for the hot chocolate and cookies that we get all over the park. That'll be nice. And then there are definitely some park or party exclusive treats that I want to try. I'm very much looking forward to. I always love the fact that Cosmic Rays has like a nice savory offering that you can only get at the party, and this one's like a roasted turkey sandwich. That sounds sounds real good.
Yes.
But yeah, there's
because if you hadn't had your fill of turkey over Thanksgiving,
I'm ready for more.
Yes, absolutely. I'm down for more, and also on the merchandise side, I want to get me one of them popcorn buckets.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's some very cool ones. The light-up Christmas tree is awesome.
Yeah, that is the one that I want to get, though. If you remember when I was going into the Not So Scary, I was like, I'm going to get like 19 popcorn buckets. I only ended up getting one because, I do have to bring these back to Knoxville. But I mean, like, good on Disney. Like, I never once thought that, like, yes, I need to seek out a popcorn bucket.
Yeah. Oh,
and here I am, a grown adult, like, looking forward to getting a second one. So
I definitely like the fact that they're functional and they work well as decorations.
Seriously, they were great as decorations.
Yeah.
The one I got from Not So Scary, the Mickey pumpkin balloon one, I had so many people and they were over at my condo like, that is so cool. Which I actually might have to buy some popcorn buckets and bring them back for people because they know I'm going down for the Christmas party.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently we're not the only ones that think these popcorn things are cool.
Well, I hope you charge a handling fee.
I hadn't thought of that, but I so am now. It's about time this podcast started making me money.
So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. I also have not been to a very Merry Christmas party myself. This will be the first one. And this year was the first time I'd done Not So Scary. So yeah, and I'm really enjoying the parties. I definitely think you get a lot of good value, especially if you go and make the most of the treats and the special shows and all that stuff, then you're really doing it right.
And even like just getting into the park a little bit early, because when you have those tickets to the ticketed after hour parties, I think they start letting you in at 4.
Yes,
and
correct.
And then at 6 they'll start shooing everybody out that doesn't have a ticket. But in those 2 hours you can get a lot done. I mean, not everything, but you can still get a lot done before the party starts. Yeah. Or if, like, for the Halloween party, for example, I know Kevin talked about how he and his girlfriend, they had to meet Jack and Sally, so they used those 2 hours to go get in line. So once they started, boom, they just knocked out the biggest thing they wanted to do, so they could just kind of go with the flow the rest of the night.
It was all gravy after that. Yeah,
exactly. Which, I mean, if there is one specific thing, especially when it comes to the characters, because I do think the characters and their costumes are cool and part of the draw for these events. So if there's one in particular, you got to see, like, I don't know, you got to see Goofy dressed as Krampus or something. By the way, that doesn't actually exist, though. Disney. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But like, you can hop in line for him, and then boom, as soon as he's there, knock it out in 10 minutes, and you have the rest of the party to enjoy.
Yeah.
Theory.
Well, you do, and at this party you can meet Jack in his full Sandy Claus costume, which I think is even cooler. So,
ooh, that is cool. So I would probably have to get in line now for that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Crap. And see, that's cool, and I'd appreciate the picture, but I don't know, especially with this being my first party. I don't know if I want to devote a chunk of time in a line.
Yeah, I know.
Though I did stand in line for like 30 minutes to meet Stitch as Elvis. So
that's not too bad, though.
No, that wasn't too bad.
I mean, and it's worth it. Stitch and Elvis costume.
It was great.
Yeah.
There's a picture of us doing Elvis moves.
Oh, it's great. I've seen it.
I look great. It's the best. By the way, once again, ladies, I am single.
So a lot to look forward to on this trip, and a lot we'll be able to talk about right here on this podcast. And so I'm looking forward to experiencing a lot of this stuff for the first time, and especially experiencing it with you, my friend.
I know, buddy. It's going to be so much fun.
We're going to have a good time. Not to mention Festival of the Holidays over at Epcot. Mm-hmm. Not to mention all the cool Christmas stuff going on at Animal Kingdom. All this stuff.
Like that's the thing. It's like, I'm glad I'm coming down for as long as I am, because I just want to take in the Christmas decorations across all the parks. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to the Christmas party itself to see, them go to the nines.
Blow it out. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, blow it out. And hopefully the weather will participate so I can see the fireworks display, because I did not get to see the fireworks of the Not So Scary because, remember I went during hurricane season. Yeah. But I just want to see Disney do all those decorations because, they're second to none when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. So lots to look
also,
forward to.
We get to run a counterculture trip against the girls.
Yeah, don't tell them.
By the way, I didn't plan that. This was just the best time or most affordable time for Delta tickets. Don't hate me, Sam or Allison or whoever else is going with y'all.
Yeah,
I forget.
This is Rise of the Resistance weekend, so
exactly.
The ladies are trying to strike back against the guys' trip for opening day of Galaxy's Edge.
That's cute.
And Allison,
sorry,
by the way, Allison had some trash talking to do when we met up with them at Jock Lindsay's Thanksgiving night. She was letting me know they're going to have a great time, and it's going to be way better than what we had. And I was like, good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen. But
is Jen coming down?
Unfortunately, she can't make it.
Oh, okay. Well, then they're definitely not going to have a better time because we had a Cardillo.
We did. And that automatically raises it up a level.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a cranky old curmudgeon Cardillo, it's still
it's still a Cardillo. If you think about it, we got Cardillo Prime.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's been around since the dawn of time. But
that's right. So a lot to look forward to, and all of this stuff is all stuff you're going to hear on upcoming episodes of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. But before I tell you where you can find future episodes and also interact with us on the web, I will allow Landon to do the same for all of his great content. So Landon, where can people find you?
I would invite you to follow me on Twitter. That is LANDOZ. Please go follow me, Landon Doan. I'm the best, Landon Doan, not the rest. That's where you can get the latest from me, 280 characters at a time. I also run a website, buttmunchchips.com. Buttmunchchips.
Sit on your butt and munch.
That is where you can find podcasts such as Game of Thrones Talk, a.k.a. Got Talk, where myself, Hunter Reese, and cousin Kevin, we made reference to him earlier, we talk about HBO's award-winning series Game of Thrones. And to those asking, no, we're not going to do a final episode because all three of us were so bummed out by the way Thrones ended. We don't want to go back and do anything with it. So there's your answer on that. There's also the R&D project. That's where myself and Will Rabb do things. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly sure what goes on there. I just know it's available in the iTunes store. And old episodes of Near Fall Radio, of course, if you're a fan of the sweet science of professional wrestling. Though, keep this between me and you, Jay. I might be trying to bring that back, but on a professional level. That could be cool. And also, speaking on the professional level, I am on the Phil Show on News Talk 98.7 WOKI, radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, air every weekday, 6 to 10 a.m., Monday through Friday. Once again, that is weekdays. Also streaming worldwide at newstalk987.com. Also available in the podcast store. Be sure to search the Phil Show 987. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. Remember, 5 stars or GTFO.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, man. We're going to wrap it up today. Again, we are Morning Monorail on Twitter. We're Monday Morning Monorail on all of the other things. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You can also visit our website, mondaymorningmonorailpodcast.com, and you can email us, mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. Thank you so much for being a listener. Thank you for joining us again here today. Please tell your friends. Word of mouth is the best way to get more people joining this family, and we appreciate you so much. Rate and review us on the iTunes or anywhere else that you download and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Until then, have a magical week. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for riding with us today. We hope you enjoyed the journey, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, we want to hear from you. Send us questions, comments, and suggestions on Twitter at Morning Monorail. Our email address is mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. You can also call our voicemail at 407-917-2144. As we approach the station, gather your belongings and please watch your step as you exit.
See y'all real soon.
the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast.
If you want to do it, you can do it.
No, I'm still working on my impression of you. So.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't bad, though, right?
It was pretty good.
I love the cadence you have.
That'll be a secret sound, maybe.
All right, yeah. So if we're doing secret sounds, here's me doing a beatbox. Well, my name's Landon, and I'm here to say I'm from Knoxville, USA. My hair's real cool, my rhymes are real dope, and when I go to Canada, I wear a poke. That's it. I got
Don't know what a poke is.
Word.